welcome to Tarot Tuesday. This is Silver Anchor, and we're continuing our series on how to start reading tarot cards. And you can see I've made a silk wrap. It's made out of silk handkerchiefs. I used 2 of them to wrap my new deck of cards in. They really like it, and the energy on them has changed tremendously since I've been wrapping them in the silk instead of the cardboard container that they came in. Silk is a very recommended material. It can be a blend, it doesn't have to be 100%, but I got these silk handkerchiefs on Etsy and then sewed them into a cylinder to make a container. But they were very nice, and my cards appreciate it. They have a luxurious air about them. I don't know what it is, but I've been getting to know them a lot. I've been continuing and putting in entries in my journal, and just putting in how does this represent what I've been doing, and like how does it apply to my life, each card, right? I got 3 of Swords more than once, which was kind of sad for me, and I've also misplaced the book that came with it, but I'm not too worried about it. It'll probably pop up when I need it, but I've also got the internet to look up meanings of cards. So today we're going to be using a resource that I've had for quite a few years, and it has pictures of the Rider-Waite, which I do recommend for beginners. If you're not sure about what deck to get the Rider-Waite deck. That's the one that I use most. It's what I still use for my readings that I do. And it's just the gold standard, this deck. Nothing against you, Thoth. Nothing at all against you. But you're going to find most books, materials with this deck in it. Is the deck most imitated but never duplicated. So anyway, what this book teaches you to do is, at first, this is pretty handy just to look up the definition of a card. It'll give you the upright, reverse definition, and then it'll start to combine it with some other cards. It combines it with the one on the same page. So it's almost like taking one word from here and one word from here. So if these are both upright, you could have successful transformation, happy change, right? So the way combinations work is you're making a sentence, and so this one takes into account the reversals. So 2 of Cups would be partnership, 5 of Cups would be loss. So a loss of partnership. Friendship is rejected, right? So seeing how the cards interact with each other. And this one in the different order. It's like changing the order of the words in the sentence. Loss of a love, avoiding relationships. And all of these reversals and things like that. And you can see just in 2 cards the variations in meaning. This book attempts to do lots of them. Some of them are just in the same suit. And then when you get towards the back, they start to do random combinations. There's no way they could do every combination upright reversed of every card. It would not fit into a book you could put on your shelf. But it's a good study to learn how these can go together. So that's what we're going to be doing here. This is a great beginner spread. It's just the 3 card spread. So you've been picking 1 card a day and seeing how does it apply to your day, and you're not going to stop. You can keep doing this forever. Just 1 card a day to meditate on. It's a practice that people do well into reading cards. So this deck has been a challenge for me to shuffle. So one way I've been picking cards, and we can talk about shuffling a little bit, is you don't want to do, these cards are so big, you don't want to do the waterfall that people do with playing cards. The reason for that is it will bend your deck. I think you've seen my other deck. It is bent because it has been shuffled that way, and cards don't like to be shuffled this way. I'm sorry. A lot of people will move them like this, and I like to shuffle this way. it's kind of difficult with this deck. I've been trying it in the vertical position. It's a little bit easier for my hands to grip, but it's still cumbersome. Another method is to swirl them all over the table. My table's a little bit small, but you can imagine just swirling them about. And another way, and I've been doing that with this deck, I feel like a magician, fanning them out and then feeling over the deck which card wants to come out. So you can peel off as many cards as you need for your spread. Top one. So that's another method of getting the cards out. And I'm just going to read them all upright. And I have 9 of Cups, Happiness, 8 of Discs, Prudence, and Prince of Wands. So because I've misplaced mine, I'm going to go ahead and look these up in this book. It should give me a good idea on the meanings for each one. And that's what you'll want to do as a beginner. There's nothing wrong, even when you're entertaining your friends, of looking them up. You wouldn't want to do this as a professional. It wouldn't look professional if you had to go look up the card meanings each time. Traditionally, books do wands, cups, swords, and then discs. So we're looking for 9 of Cups. Oh, we just passed it. And see, these images are what my mind remembers. So if I just saw this, I would know that these were the meanings. This is what I'd memorized. So 9. And happiness, it's a good keyword. I like that they put a keyword on these cups. And the illustrations, I've noticed the lotus flower in the cups a lot. And these lines here are the cups running over. So they're overflowing with abundance. So contentment, fulfillment, completion, pleasure, good. I didn't really have a question coming into this, so we're just going to see what I get. The cards also include an astrological symbol. So we have Jupiter and Gemini. There'll be a planet and a zodiac symbol. And then we have 8 of Discs. So we have happiness, good, satisfaction, and then 8. That was it. So again, this image means more to me. I will see someone working hard, an apprentice, you're learning, scholar, career. And prudence would not be something I would think about that. So being scholarly, working on a new project. So happiness with the career is what I'm seeing here. And then we have a person, the Prince of Wands. So each court card can be read as a person. They're also, in a way, a mood. And the prince is the same, it's similar to the page. There's a prince and princess. So those were a little bit different in that the Thoth does not have a king. They have queen, knight, prince, and princess. So adventurous, active, ambitious. So I'm seeing a person who is happy in their career, or if the person is the end of the sentence, we're going to say satisfying career as an apprentice. That's what I'm seeing here. So you can see how it makes a sentence when you read the 3 together. Let's get 3 more. Let's ask a specific question. Tying into our celebrity readings, let's think of a celebrity we like to do. How about, and this is, I have no political affiliation or opinion, but just because they're in the news a lot, let's talk about Joe Biden. Truce, Four of Swords, Ace of Wands, and the Chariot. So we're going to put aside what we may be thinking these mean and put them all into one sentence here. That's the exercise we're going to do here with the 3-card reading. And I'm going to continue to use my book. I've got all of these cards in there. I already know Ace of Wands pretty well, but the symbols in these are so different that my brain doesn't associate automatically. So we want swords. It's going to be further in the back here. Four of Swords. Delays. I like this word. So delay, truce. And Ace of Wands, this would simply be victory, new, commencement. So a delay in starting. And then we'll go back and look for Chariot. It's kind of early. There we go. In the journey. So a delay to the start of the journey, which I definitely could see this applying to his situation right now. There is going to be somewhat of a delay as we've all are sure there's going to be demands for recounts or things like that. So he may not be moving in on, what is it, January 20th is traditionally Inauguration Day, I believe, something like that. So there may be a delay. So that's how we're doing a 3-card reading, and you can see it's pretty easy when you have, and you can use any book, you can just look these up. My favorite online resource for definitions is Biddy Tarot, Biddy. She has a great Instagram page as well. It's a small company that they do so much. And they are probably the first thing that comes up on Google when you Google Four of Swords, okay? And they have some great resources, great spreads and things like that. So I recommend their website, Biddy, Biddy Tarot. That's a good online resource. If you got if your phone handy, you can look up these cards. So I just used this book today just to also show you the combinations. So that's what you want to do, and also continue to write them down in your journal. So every time you do a reading, write down the cards and what you interpreted, your question, what cards did you get, and how you interpreted that. And the writing definitely helps. I'm going to do that off camera. But keep doing a 3-card reading, and you can keep doing these forever. You don't have to do a big spread like we've shown the Celtic Cross before. And I have a few more that are based on a 3-card, because a 3-card gives you a complete sentence. I mean, you can do a reading with just one. There's so much meaning in just one card. If we just pulled this one for old Joe, delay, truce, right? That would be enough meaning on its own, right? But with the rest of them, you get deeper and deeper. So that's what happens when you pull more cards. I've seen spreads with 30 cards, which when you start pulling out half the deck, I don't know how much meaning you're getting out of it at that point. So there we are. We're continuing to learn about the Thoth deck, and we'll continue this series on how to start reading tarot. I hope you've learned a little bit today. Thank you for watching Silver Anchor, and you have a great day.